Hello, and welcome to another edition of In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Councilmember Ray Malnar from the Saguaro District. Today, we are going to visit a couple of the high schools in the Saguaro District, Ironwood High School and Cactus High School. And we're going to be looking at some of the unique programs that they have. With me today is Principal Russ Dunham and the band director for the Ironwood High Marching Band, Tim Ormsby. And also, as you can see in the background, we have the Ironwood Marching Band. Good morning, Principal Dunham.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
You bet. I'm glad you could be in. And the band, great they could be here with us. Why don't you start us off by telling us a little bit about Ironwood High School? Give us a little bit of history, some of the great accomplishments, and some things you'd like to tell us about.
So Ironwood opened here in 1986. Most recently, we were named an A school by the Arizona Department of Education, so we're extremely excited about that. Mostly Ironwood, what we pride ourselves in is really providing our community, our students, with a safe place to go to school where we push kids, we challenge kids, but end of the day, our kids are going to get a great education and they feel like a part of something here. We feel every kid can get along at Ironwood High School.
Right. And
we really feel lucky to have such great community support, really provide this great atmosphere for our students.
Excellent. Well, we're featuring here today the Ironwood High School Marching Band. What do you think kids get out of this?
The band is amazing. So with all our students here on campus, we really encourage them to be involved in something else. Beyond.
Right.
We go to school every day 7:20 to 2:20, and we provide our kids with a challenging education there. But it's the extra stuff we think that takes it to the next level with the band, and we're extremely proud of our band here at Ironwood. But the reason why is they work extremely hard, and with the band, you get those opportunities to work with other people, to go through good times, bad times. These kids work extremely hard. There's competitions, there's hours. These guys work so hard. So you're learning those skills in life. How to work with people, how to do that extra effort. How to deal with things when they don't maybe go your way, or those types of things, or celebrate when they're good.
Exactly.
So it teaches you all those skills that I think are really essential to life. But most importantly, really, it just adds that extra element to high school.
Okay.
I think it just brings it to that next level.
Excellent. Tell us a little about some of the statistics of the school. How big is it, and those kind of things.
So we've been right around 2,000 students for the last handful of years here. We're kind of holding there. We have 6 feeder schools in the neighborhood. We also draw about a third of our population from outside of our attendance area. So there's students who want to come to school here, which I think is the biggest element, where parents choose to come to Ironwood High School on open enrollment and those types of things.
Well, excellent. Excellent. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, we're excited to be here today. We love our band.
Yeah, I can see it. And they're excited. You guys excited being here? Yeah! All right.
Resume hot!
Next, we're going to talk to the band director, Tim Ormsby.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ormsby, for joining us today.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you and the band taking the time out to be on our show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Ironwood Marching Band?
This Ironwood Marching Band, we have about 200 students this year. In the past, we've had 230 average. We're active in the fall with regards to attending all the football games.
Right.
We do 4 to 5 competitions a year, and then every year we do something else added to that. Sometimes we do a parade, sometimes we do a City of Glendale Glitters performance.
Right.
So we give them another experience on top of that.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little bit about the competition. How does that work?
We spend most of our time throughout the fall preparing for a competition show that's right around 10 minutes, and every band is given 15 minutes to get on the field, get off the field, and they're judged in several areas: music, visual performance because they're marching, and we have a color guard, which is flags, percussion. Those are the general areas that the marching band is graded on during a competition.
Now, you had mentioned earlier about that you as the director cannot participate in a competition. How does that work?
Yeah, so marching band is unique in the fact that as the director, we prepare them in class and at rehearsals, but then once we get to the competition, it's actually up to student drum majors. They're chosen through an audition process, but students actually start and lead the band during a performance.
Excellent. Can we meet the two that are your leaders today?
Absolutely. We have 2 of our student leaders with us today. This is Deanna Torres and Devin Talbot. They're our drum majors. They were chosen last spring during an audition process to be our student leaders for the semester.
Well, excellent. Great. Thanks for joining us. Why don't you tell us why you joined the band? What got you involved in doing instruments?
Well, I got involved in band because I wasn't really the best at choir, and so I was really inspired by Sheila E. to come and play saxophone here.
Excellent.
I started band in 5th grade. I just really liked the look of a saxophone, so I started in 5th grade, stuck with it, and then freshman year it was an obvious choice to join the marching band and
Excellent.
join the band program.
That's excellent. One of your parents had sent me an email and had mentioned that by joining in a band and being part of this kind of an arts program, that it actually increases students' SAT and ACT scores. Can you comment on that?
It's proven, I don't have the statistics memorized right now, but it's proven that participation in the arts, especially performing arts, choir, band, strings, does actually improve student test scores, ACT, SAT, throughout all their areas.
That's excellent. Tell us a little about these students and their instruments.
These particular students that we're going to show you are section leaders, the leaders of the band for their individual section. They also went through an audition process, and they're chosen to be mentors and helpers to their section. We include all the standard instruments for a band, down the line, flute and piccolo, clarinet, bass clarinet, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, trumpet, marching horn, trombone, marching baritone, sousaphone, which is the marching tuba, color guard, flag, and then we have drums of various sizes.
Excellent. Well, that instrument is my favorite because that's the one I played since I was 8 years old, and I was in a band as well in my high school. Anybody have any comment as to how they feel about what this has done for them, being in the marching band?
It's been good. I like it, and I make friends easily. I came in freshman year with friends, which was nice.
It shows a level of maturity when all of us come together and work for a common goal, and you just know it's a great family just to be in the band right now.
I feel that it's shown me how to be devoted to something and how to be persistent and just work hard at something.
It gave me something to strive for, and in the end really helped me find what I wanted to major in college. So
you think you're going to continue on with this type of a career?
yes.
Excellent. Congratulations, students, on your accomplishments and everything you're doing here. Director Ormsby, tell us a little bit about how the community can get involved and help participate in this fantastic program.
The community is extremely important in our ability to continue as a music program, as a band program. Funding for schools and funding for the arts is extremely important. As soon as funding is cut for public schools, arts is a very easy thing to not necessarily cut altogether, but to take a little bit of funding away from. So continuing supporting schools will help fund the arts. And then Arizona is unique in the fact that we have tax credit.
Correct.
And utilizing tax credit, even if you don't have a student at Ironwood and you're not utilizing your tax credit for somebody, allowing and donating your money to Ironwood Band would be extremely helpful.
Well, great. Well, I encourage the community to get involved and to really come out and enjoy what we have right here in the center of the Saguaro District. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll be going over to Cactus High School and learning about their robotics program. We are now going to visit with the principal at Cactus High School, Christy Hammer, and Adam Schroyer, the director of the robotics team here at Cactus High School. So welcome to our program today.
Thanks for having us.
Well, great. Christy, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about Cactus High School, some of the students, the achievements, and the population of your school here.
All right, so Cactus High School is one of the smaller high schools in the Peoria district, but even though we're small, we're mighty. So we only have around 1,250 kids, but what I love about Cactus is we're a family. We believe in the concept of Ohana here, and that's important to us, that no kid is invisible and no kid gets left behind. We have a lot of great accomplishments. If you look at our athletics, our kids are winning state championships and district championships, regional championships. What I love about our clubs is we have over 30 clubs and activities for kids to get involved in, and we're well known obviously for our student council and NHS. Our student council puts on amazing assemblies. We're well known for that. 100 community members come in each time just to watch them each time we host them. So it's a phenomenal place to be. The kids are amazing. I mean, just look at this crew.
Right.
What a bunch of good-looking kids over there. And one of the things that we are known for one of our clubs is our robotics club. And it's been around 18 years. Mr. Schroyer was here as a student and was one of the ones who started it as I was a teacher on this campus at this time. So that means we're old, but I'm a little older, obviously. But the nice thing is that although Mr. Schroyer started the program here after he graduated from Cactus High School, he continued to mentor the program and be a part of it for 16 years after that. And then I had the opportunity to hire him on our campus so he could be here full time and work with these kids.
Well, looking forward to talking to you and learning a little bit more. Now let's first introduce the Robotics Club of Cactus High School. Excellent. Mr. Schroyer, why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of this club? You've been here for a while, you were involved before, so tell us what you've been doing lately.
So we started in 2000, was our first year. I was a freshman in high school when that happened, and our team was like 4 students. And then we grew exponentially throughout the entire years, and now we have roughly 25 to 30 students that are involved in the program. We go to 2 events in-state, out-of-state. In the last few years, we've gone to the World Championship in Houston, Texas, and we've done really, really well there.
Tell us about these championship activities you've had.
So that is a typical regional event will have anywhere from 40 to 50 teams, whereas the World Championship is the best. It's 8 fields at once, and it's 100 teams per, so 800 teams will compete in this massive 5-day STEM event in Houston, Texas.
Bumping match over here by the Red Alliance end zone.
We were 3rd place overall in our division, which was again, we had 100 teams in our division. We were that close to winning a world championship, but we're hoping this year with a new game and a new robot design that we can take it all the way to the top.
Excellent. Thank you very much. What I'd like to do is maybe talk to a couple of your students that have engaged in this and just see what they've gotten out of it. Well, what I want to do is first kind of thank you for being here and ask you, what got you involved in robotics and what are you getting out of this?
So I originally joined robotics just to like hang out with my friends, but I soon learned that it was like a great program where I could learn so much, and it drastically changed what I wanted to do with my life. And now I was kind of lost entering high school, and now I know what I want to do. I want to work with robots. This is kind of what I want my life to be about.
Excellent. Well, what did it do to your desire to improve your math skills and other science skills?
Oh yeah, like robotics, we have very long hours in the build season, and it's kind of taught me how to work hard in general, not just on this, but even in my classes. I'm taking the hardest classes I can because I really want to prove myself in that so I can have a more prosperous life in this field of engineering.
Well, I started robotics in 5th grade. It was little Lego robots, and I was very passionate about it, and so I wanted to get to the next level. I wanted to get more to the fabrication of it, the ins and outs of it, the guts of it, and so I found Cactus High School, and I actually had the opportunity to kind of, as an 8th grader, check out the team and what it's like, and my engineering skills have improved. My people skills have improved. I talk to whatever team I can. My team always just says that, oh, there's Michael, who's over there talking to their team. I like to get that communication aspect of it, and I want others to succeed as well.
Great. That's awesome. Awesome to hear that. And this comes from you getting involved in a program like a robotics program here at Cactus. Excellent. Anybody else? You guys want to say something?
Okay. So for me, it was unlike Michael, where he started as a young 5th grader. And my elementary school never had that, so I was like, oh, high school, there's a robotics team. I gotta do that. So then I decided to join robotics and ended up like doing business, and I really like talking to people and kind of spreading the STEM out everywhere. So like doing the social media is really fun, as well as just, you know, being with all my friends here. And then you gotta like meet people at competitions, so it's really fun as well.
Oh, that's great. Excellent.
And they got it. Fred has the scale.
Maybe start off telling us about the new competition. What it is that you have to do on this new competition that's coming up, how you have to create a robot and what it needs to do.
Yeah, so these are the 2 game pieces that we have for this year's game. And there's a space shuttle on the field that we have to put this up to with the Velcro. So we have to build a robot that can hold on to this as long scoring the ball also. So this is the hatch that holds the balls into the space shuttle, and then you place the balls in there, and then this holds the ball in place so you can score points.
I see. So the team with the highest score wins the match?
Yes.
Excellent. Tell us about this robot behind us. What did it do?
So this robot, its name is Kill Screen. It's actually a second iteration of it. It lifts up these yellow cubes 8 feet in the air. There's 3 scale-like objects, so they tip in favor if you own it or not, and then you earn points per second. So we actually have these wheels right here, a little bit squishy, so they can actually suck up the cube and it keeps it stationary the entire time, while also providing tension on it so it doesn't fall out. And we also have a cascade lift. You see the big lift that we built. So it actually lifts 10 feet in the air, and it can then score things into the high scale.
Well, now let's talk about what it really takes to build one of these. I mean, this isn't something that you just buy a kit and throw it together. I mean, you have to create it, correct? So what kind of skills do you need in order to be able to actually make a robot like this?
You don't need any skills starting off with. You just need people that can help you. Mentors, whether it be adults or student mentors as well. You don't need to have any prior knowledge to do this program. That's the amazing thing about it is it's a very big community-based system. So for instance, let's just say that I didn't know anything on the team. The mentors and the students all taught me all the things I know now, and I am broadening off of that. Now I'm teaching the freshmen, and it's just a whole system that goes on, and it's been going on for 20 plus years. This program has been around.
So it's a mentor tutorship program that teaches you, and what are the educational skills you're learning in doing this, putting this, think of it in terms of math and science. What are the skills you're learning?
So you can use calculus, obviously, to determine, for let's just say this game right here, you need to determine the different weight distribution of the robot. So if this is too heavy, how can we fix that? Gear ratios, that's a huge thing in robotics. A lot of people wouldn't know about that, but gear ratios are actually very math involved. So a certain gear ratio would have enough to pull up something or not. If not, it wouldn't work at all.
So would you say that your interest in robotics has created a stronger interest in mathematics?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
And other sciences?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, great. This has been excellent. You have a couple of other robots over here. Why don't you tell us about what they do?
So this is a robot. Its name is Spätzle, which is a German dish. But the robot is for this game called Rover Ruckus, in which the robots have to score these minerals on the floor. Drive up to the cube van, the cube in the sphere. Yeah, just intake the cube. There we go. Yeah, in the sphere. So they have to score these minerals over in the corner van, please. You have to score these minerals over to this depot, so we have to collect these minerals and we have to sample them throughout the game, much like a rover would for like scientific experimentation. So we have an arm here that extends outward to reach into this crater. Could you drive over to the crater? To reach into this crater to grab the gold and silver minerals for collection and sampling. And that's how you earn points in the game, is to like use the minerals to score them in the depot for collection. And it's kind of like to simulate something like would actually happen.
Right.
Like actual rovers really have to kind of collect minerals, sample them, do tests on them. So
when you got these specifications, that this was at the game, what process do you go through to create this? Does the whole team get together and just throw their ideas together and start coming up with something that might work and then test it? How do you do that?
So the first way we start is it's a lot of analysis. Like we have to analyze the game, the points, like what we can do, what we've done before, what we know how to do, or what we don't know how to do. And we start by thinking about what's the best way to win, what's the best way to score the points. Then we prototype. We build like more primitive versions of everything that's on here, with like sometimes out of even like cardboard or wood, or just even with our hands, like what if it does this? Or so we just try and like simulate all these different motions that we can see the robot doing, and after we kind of find out which works best, we build an advanced version, like a refined version, and that's how we create the robot.
Final robot.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, this has been awesome. Do you have anything else you want to show us here? Yeah.
I'll show a more unconventional design that we came up with. So one of the ways that you earn points in this game is by detaching from the lunar lander. That's how you enter the habitat of the planet. So a lot of teams, they kind of drop down gingerly, so it's slower and more careful. But we decided to build our robot more robust and go with an unconventional way of dropping off of the lander, which is just more of a drop.
And you built it robust enough that it could handle the drop, right?
Yeah. So we actually felt that that's kind of more in line with the game, where you have to be robust enough to handle this environment, because we also designed the robot to be able to go into that crater. So we'd have to make the robot strong to kind of handle the bouncing that happens when you go over a steep incline like that.
Well, great. Well, again, I just want to thank you and all the students here for the great work that you're doing. Congratulations on your successes, and I know you're learning a lot about science and math, and that's really important in education. Is that you have fun doing what you're doing, but you really do grasp that science and math and many of the other subjects that you study are critical for your life goals. And so I'm really glad to hear that some of you have been able to grab this science and know that that's where you want to go with your life. So congratulations. Mr. Schroyer, why don't you tell us a little bit about some upcoming events and how the community can engage with the Cactus Robotics team?
Sure. We have a very large, extravagant event on February 16th here at Cactus High School, where we will be bringing all 4 levels of the FIRST robotics program to the school and having competitions at the time. So it's kind of an overall STEM event. We're going to have food trucks, we're going to have live music, we're going to have all sorts of really cool things. It's 100% free of charge to the community, and it'll be all day from 9 to 5.
All right. So community, you need to get out there. So tell us about how they can engage otherwise.
So you can contact us via social media, FRC Team 498, or our Instagram, Cobra_robotics. But if anybody in the community wants to support us and become a sponsor of our program, they can
let's talk about how does this program get paid for?
So we do have some community grants. We're sponsored by some large companies like Bechtel, who is a Glendale company.
Right.
And Boeing, we have a Boeing sponsorship. We have a Boeing mentor that assist the program, but a majority of our money comes from tax credits from the community.
Okay.
And anybody that lives in Arizona can do a tax credit for our program, and also small businesses. We have a few financial businesses that help us out financially. But
excellent. Well, I hope the community steps up and helps you out.
Yeah, it'd be wonderful.
Great. This has been awesome.
This is great.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Principal Hammer and Mr. Schroyer, for being here and presenting your robotics club, and especially thanks to the club and our special robot guests. Well, that's a wrap for today's program. I hope you've learned something new about the programs at Cactus and Ironwood High School. If you know of anybody that might be interested in having us feature their group on this program, let us know. I'm Councilmember Ray Malnar. I'm your host, and I'll see you next time in your neighborhood.
Press this bumper, just hold it down, and it's going to go up. You can hold it all the way down. Keep going. Keep going. See?
Whoa!
And then, so it doesn't damage the camera, you're going to press B.
B.
The red button.
Excellent. Hey, I'm a robot driver.
Nice.
Look at that.